Good evening. So, I have had this pattern for ages, and I have actually made a dress out of it, which I really love. And so I was thinking that today I would try to make a kind of spring dress using this pattern but altering it slightly and then doing like a simple skirt or something. It's finally spring here in London, which, you know, means it's still cloudy and rainy, but it's warmer, so I might as well make a spring dress. So I have this fabric, hold on. So I have this fabric. It is a bedsheet, which, you know, I sew a lot of things out of bedsheets. It's eco-friendly, you know? And I got this from a thrift store. It was like £6.50, I think. Might be a tag on it, actually. Hold on. No, because I washed it. I pre-washed my fabric this time. Are you proud of me? It's kind of like a very light, maybe periwinkle blue in real life. It looks really white on camera, but it is kind of a periwinkle color. And I've got quite a lot of it. So the only problem is that one side of it, this is a duvet cover basically, and one side of it is the pattern and one side of it is white. So obviously I only want to use the pattern bit, so that does limit me a little bit in terms of how much fabric I have, but it is still like a decent amount of fabric. I've already kind of altered the pattern off camera because it was pretty easy. I just took this pattern and basically what I want to do is I shortened it to the waist, and then from there I'm just going to do a circle skirt. So basically I'm gonna cut out the pieces that I already have. So that's the bodice. I'll cut out the bodice, and then from whatever is left of this, I will make as big of a circle skirt as I can. I'm kind of going more for length than for volume or fullness of it. I would rather, I just prefer my skirts to be kind of calf length or longer. So I think I'm gonna go calf length for this, and we'll see how full of a circle skirt I can get out of that. I'm not gonna lie, it is like 8 p.m. I just got home from work and I'm very tired, but I wanted to at least cut out the pieces and maybe start putting the bodice part together. With this duvet cover being one side pattern and one side white, I might just keep it the way that it is right now and cut out the bodice pieces like through both layers so that I can have a lining layer. I might do a bag lining then, just because it'll be easier and I won't have to finish seams, which is a plus. That's my plan, I think. I'm going to do the bodice with a bag lining, and then I will do a waistband and a circle skirt with pockets and French seams. And that way that should limit the number of seams I actually have to finish, which is good because I kind of want this to be a simple project after my last, you know, Victorian walking suit that was a whole thing. So yeah, let's get started. Hello. So it has been a few hours. I basically cut out the bodice pieces and then I had dinner and then I came back to this and I was trying to figure out exactly how much skirt I could make out of the fabric that I have left, which is not as much as I thought it was going to be. So I was having trouble with the length that I wanted. I didn't film any of this because it was boring and tedious and way too much math for 10:30 p.m. on a weekday. Essentially, I think I have figured out that I could do a half circle skirt, which is not ideal because I would like it to be a little bit fuller, but like I said, I think I would rather have the length than the fullness, and I did try out a few different things. I thought about like just cutting a rectangle and gathering it or pleating it, but I have a dress that's already very similar to this that I've used the same bodice pattern for. That has a pleated skirt, and I would kind of like something different. I kind of want to try the flared skirt or circle skirt. So I'm going to go with the half circle skirt, I think. I have made a pattern, and I'm going to cut it out, and then I'm going to go to bed because I'm really tired. Well, it is now 11 p.m. because I take forever to do anything. All the pieces are cut out except for the pocket, which I will cut out of the scraps tomorrow. I also realized as I was cutting it out that I still had it folded as the duvet cover. I've technically got 2 layers of every piece, so I might do it kind of like it has a built-in underskirt, and that should help with the fullness, even though it's a half circle skirt. That should at least help it poof out a bit. That may or may not be a good thing, depending. I haven't really done a circle skirt like this before, a half circle skirt, so I don't know if it'll be like too fitted and if the poof will make it look weird or if it will be better. I don't know. I'm gonna try it, and if it's really bad and it's like too bulky or something, I'll figure something out. But I'm gonna try it with the underskirt just because I have the pieces cut out because I couldn't really separate the duvet cover and just cut out the top layer. So it's worth a shot. See what happens. I'm gonna go to bed, but I will see you hopefully tomorrow to keep working on this. Well, it seems to have gone from spring to summer very quickly. I am now dressed in a tank top, but let's get to sewing. Okay, looking good so far. This is just the outer bodice. I haven't done the lining yet, which I maybe should have sewed the lining together first. That would have made more sense. Anyway, it looks pretty good so far. I'm pretty pleased with it once I pull this in at the back because I'm gonna do a zipper up the back, and I kind of hate zippers, but it just makes the most sense for this. So it feels good. It is hitting right at my waist where the seam line is. The shoulder seam is in kind of a funny place. It's like a little bit further back than it should be. I altered the pattern because it originally had straps that went all the way around and tied in the front, which was very cute, but not quite the vibe I was going for with this. So the shoulder seam is a little far back, but I don't really care. It's fine. I think I actually kind of want to do a sweetheart neckline, so I'm gonna just sketch that really quick and fix that part, and then I'll do it the same thing on the lining. I'm gonna sew together the lining, and then I should probably be able to put it together today, and then I'll work on the skirt tomorrow. It's getting a bit late. I started this at like 7 p.m. so that wasn't a smart decision, but I've been busy all day. Anyway, I like the way this is turning out so far. I'm quite pleased. So it's been a few days. I got really burnt out with work and just kind of feeling tired in general. And I didn't have a whole lot of motivation to work on this dress, which is a bit sad because I would like to finish it and I think it's gonna be nice, but sometimes you just don't have the motivation. But I think it's back. I think I have found it. So today I've pinned all the lining pieces together. I'm going to sew this together, sew the lining to the outer layer that I finished last time, and maybe get started on the skirt. I'm going to try and take it easy. I'm trying to be kind to myself, but I would like to finish it, and I think I can finish it soon. It's not a whole lot of steps left. I wrote them all out because sometimes that helps me to like have it all laid out and know exactly how many things I have left to do, and it's not too much. So I'm just going to go ahead and start sewing the lining together. Okay, well, the bodice is finally done. It took me forever, actually, because I had originally sewed the shoulders together, as in when I was putting the lining and the outer together, I sewed all along the top, and so I went like this around the shoulders, and then I tried to turn it inside out, and the straps were too narrow, and it was a whole mess, so I unpicked the top bit, and then I just sewed the shoulder seam that way, and fell down the raw edges there. So it took way longer than it should have, but the bodice is basically done. I've left the bottom raw because I haven't quite decided how I'm going to attach the skirt yet. I don't know if I'm going to do a waistband or if I'm just going to attach the skirt right sides together and then fell down the inside. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. We'll figure that out. The next step is going to be to do the skirt. This took a lot longer than I expected, so I think I'm going to take a little break. So I may or may not get to the skirt today. We will see. Hello, it is the next day. I have flatlined all my skirt panels, and so it is time to start putting them together. So first thing I'm gonna do is put the pockets in because I will never make a skirt without pockets. It's just not gonna happen. So I'm gonna do all of this with French seams, which gets a little bit confusing with the pockets and everything, but I have done this before and it turned out okay, so let's hope I can replicate that, and I'll try and show you how I do it, but I'm mostly following a tutorial I found online, so I will link that down below because it explains it so much better than I ever could. Let's get started. all the skirt panels are now sewn together. So if I just hold it closed in the back, I think that's gonna look really good. I'm pleased with the length. I think that's just about perfect. It's not as swooshy as I hoped, but I think that's actually okay because I wanted this to be kind of a more casual dress anyway. I did make a little mistake. My flat lining, it didn't end up being super... Let me turn this around. So when I flatlined the fabric, I don't think I was as careful as I should have been. And you can kind of see that obviously the lining did not get caught in the French seam as it was supposed to. Not a big deal. Basically, I'll just turn this under and fell it down to the seam. It doesn't really matter. Nobody's gonna see the seam. So I'll just do that just to make sure that the raw edges are hidden and that everything's okay there. My mistake. I should have been a little bit more careful with the flat lining. I'll just do that quickly off camera. And then once I do that, it is time to attach the skirt to the bodice. So I may or may not get to that today because I actually have a meeting at 7:30 and I think it's already almost 5. Basically, I just have to attach this to the bodice and then put in the zipper and then hem it, I think. So I could get this done probably tomorrow. I don't think it's gonna be done today, but I'm feeling really good about where it is so far. I think this looks really cool. I love the pockets. I'm excited. Yay, let's keep going. Okay, I think we're in the home stretch. Skirt is basically done. So what I'm gonna do now is just attach the bodice to this. I think I have decided to forego the waistband. I'm just gonna attach it with, you know, just straight across. It'll be easier. And then I will have to put in the zipper by hand, I think, because I don't have a zipper foot, and also I would be too scared to do it with machine even if I did have a zipper foot. So I'm gonna go ahead and attach the bodice. Let's get to sewing. So I put in the zipper, I finished up the back seam, and all that's really left to do is hem it, but I did just try it on right now, and I don't want to spoil anything, because you'll see it soon, but I really love it. I really, really love it. I think I'm gonna go ahead and hem this off camera, and I will see you tomorrow for the final look. Beauty is pain. One of my light bulbs blew and it feels really dark. Hold on, let me fix it. It didn't help that much, but it was cool. So let's start with the positives. I think flatlining the skirt was a good idea. I like that it has a lot more body than I thought it was going to. I don't think that it would have had that if it hadn't had a lining. Let's see, other positives. I can think of other positive things. I generally like the silhouette of it. I like that it, you know, has that, what's it called? A-line? Is it an A-line silhouette? Hourglass? I don't know. Fit and flare? I don't know. There's too many terms that I don't understand the meanings of. I like it. I like the silhouette. I like the neckline. I wasn't sure if I was gonna get this part right because I literally just folded the fabric in half and like snipped. I maybe should have been a bit more careful with it, but I think it turned out okay. I mean, just generally, I like that it's a bed sheet. So I've worked with some bed sheets. I make a lot of things out of bed sheets, but I've worked with some bed sheets that just don't have as much like as good of a drape as this one does. I don't know. I just feel like this one turned out well. And it was £6.50 for this entire project because everything else I had, I mean, it was basically just the pattern, which I already had, and thread, which I already had. £6.50. I made this out of a thrifted bed sheet. I, you know, am saving the environment and all that, and saving money, which is always important to me too. I think it's just good fabric. I like it. I like the pattern on it. Also, can I say it was really nice to do a project that didn't require pattern matching for once, because oh my god. I love the satisfaction of pattern matching, but the actual process of doing it makes me want to tear my hair out sometimes, because I'm very particular about pattern matching and getting it perfectly right. I love the pockets. They are massive, as always. Giant pockets, love that. I did forget to put the tape that attaches it to the waist, and I did feel the difference because I put my phone in my pocket a couple times and I was like, oh, it is kind of weighing my skirt down a bit. So I might go back and fix that. So on that note, let's talk about the things that didn't go so well. I don't know what it is about this top part, because I've used this pattern before and it fit me like a glove. And this one, it just feels a little bit big. Like just everywhere it kind of feels a bit baggy. Especially like the chest area. It just, you can see like how much room there is there. I'm wondering if it might be the shoulders, because the shoulders are the only part that I changed about the pattern. And actually, when I pulled that up, the whole thing starts to fit a little bit better. So I might just do that. I might just pull in the shoulders a little bit. The hem is not the neatest job I've ever done. I'm not super good at doing curved hems. Same thing happened to me when I did my Victorian walking skirt, and I hemmed that one by hand, so I thought that it would be neater, but it is a little bit warped and wobbly. And this one I did on the machine and it's a little bit warped and wobbly. I should have run a basting stitch along where I wanted to fold it and then kind of gathered it slightly to make that fold cleaner. I did look that up after I had sewed it because I was like, this is the second time that I've done this and it hasn't turned out well. Maybe the problem is me. It is what it is. If anyone's looking at the hem of my skirt, then I haven't done my job right. That's what I always say. I have not finished any of the seams on this dress because I want to get this video up by Saturday and it is Thursday because I'm a procrastinator. The point is that it's wearable, and I think that's really what it comes down to. I'm very much a perfectionist and I always want things to be like absolutely perfect, and you know, if I could redo this and if I could redo that, but it's wearable. And I made it out of £6.50 bedsheet and I love it. Oh, another thing. I could go and pick out negatives all day, but one last thing, I think. There is a little bit of wrinkling on the bodice, and I think that's because I didn't line up my grain lines super well. So I was like, I don't have to pattern match it, I'm just gonna put the pattern pieces out and it's gonna be fine. I would adjust it slightly if I was gonna do this again. I would be a little bit more careful about the grain lines because there is just a little bit of wrinkling. I could go on nitpicking all day, but ultimately, I think that this was a lot of fun. Thank you for coming along on this dressmaking adventure. I hope it was fun for you, it was fun for me, and I will see you next time. Bye!